Just follow my lead. We'll be good. Hey, welcome to BSB TV. Today we've got Ask Us Anything. So we've had a couple of questions been sent in to me privately. Jitixa's got some really cool statistics. We're going to talk all things small business. We don't just want people to ask questions about Brisbane small business specifically, but if you've got a question about business and you'd love a panel to do it, it's not always going to be Jitixa and myself. It's going to rotate around the leadership team. We're going to have a whole lot of exciting stuff. And if people are sending questions in, we'll try and get panelists who can answer that question, because I don't know everything. I know some people think I do, but it's not true. Not even I think I do. So Jitixa, how are you today?
I'm really good, thanks, Kevin. How are you?
I'm really well. Now, you've been part of Brisbane small business for a few years now.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I think maybe 2 years.
For a couple of years. And when I reached out for looking for people who want to be on a leadership team, you jumped in and you help businesses be more profitable.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So is it about increasing turnover, or it's about reducing costs and finding those lost little pockets of money?
Yeah, it could be either or. Obviously, the way to make more profit is either by increasing revenue or reducing costs. But there's lots of other little things that you can do in between. Looking at margins, looking at your expenses, because I guarantee even like the really big corporations are paying for things without even noticing. So having a bit of a keen eye for detail on what's going in and out of your business will help you with your profitability.
And that's really important, because one of the stats that I have noticed is since COVID hit, small business owners have been struggling a little bit. Okay, the average size of small business has gone from 286,000 down to about 256,000, according to the Australian Bureau of Stats, where I found the information. This is a little bit older, this information. That was in the first year, so I don't know whether we've bounced straight back or not just yet. But if we extrapolate that out and go, hey, we've got around 16,000 members of Brisbane Small Business, our community has somewhere approaching $3.5 billion of revenue.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
Now, here's what I'm truly passionate about. What I believe is if small business owners looked after each other and worked with each other more, then that $3.5 billion surging around our small business economy would actually help grow all of our businesses, and that would actually make society around our area much better, because a healthy small business industry really does provide the lifeblood of community. And so that's something that I'm really passionate about, trying to help people do that. So a couple of other really interesting little things that I'd love to chat about with small business. Typical in terms of turnover, and we'll start there. So 28% of small business, nearly 29% of small business owners don't produce $50,000 in revenue.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the stats are surprising, actually.
It is. Now, the lion's share of a small business, 53%, produce between 50 and 200,000. But then we do have, 200,000 to 2 million, 12.5%, and then 7% are in that 2 million plus market. And that's what brings our average up to the 280, 256. So that is the average, not the median. I don't know what the median is. Interestingly, on employment, and it follows quite logically, that 70% don't employ anyone. So when you think about it, that you've got 80% are turning over less than 200,000 and 70% are not employing someone. That kind of says that, hey, you're not got a turnover of 200,000, you're probably not employing someone. Okay. We've then got 1 to 4 people with 15% and 5 to 19 staff at the 7.5%. So what does that teach us about our group? That it's really diverse, that it does have more solopreneurs than anything else in the group, but it's just representative, similar to the rest of Small Business Australia. So it's not that it's all just one-man shows that are being unprofitable and all that sort of stuff. So I wanted to get that out. Now, you've got some stats on women in business.
Yeah, I just having a look. There was actually a 46% increase in the last over the last 2 decades of women creating their own small business, which I think is a phenomenal increase over the last 20 years. And in the small business, I guess over a third of small business owners are women as well. So some really great stats to see that women are going into their own businesses now.
Well, absolutely. And it is, in one sense, easier to get into business. But the other thing that we're going to point out is it's still not easy in small business. Okay.
Oh, for sure.
You still need to identify a problem that people realize they have that they want to solve and then serve that. That is the basic premise with which we're all going to buy. I know I've got a problem. I need to fix that. Who can help me? Okay. So I want to encourage you with that. I had an interesting question, and this is the one I want to focus on today, from Mike Haynes. He does some videography work for people. And he said, look, when you're starting out and you're trying to make a name for yourself, how much should you give away and what should you give away to acquire leads and find some valuable customers? Now, what are your thoughts on that? Because you're all about profitability.
Yeah, I mean, do you mean as in giving away information or your you can be, it could be, couldn't it? It could be information that that you've acquired over the years, could be your time, any number of things. I think it's important to try different things and find the right balance for you. Obviously, by giving away your information and your time, you earn a little bit more respect. People know what you're about. People know what your skills are. But you still want to be able to provide a service in your own right as well. So trying to find the right balance that works for you is probably the most crucial thing. I know, so for example, business coaches and stuff, especially mindset coaches, they do give a lot of value when they're doing their lives and their free sessions and stuff, but they still have a lot of value in the programs that they deliver. But there's certain service-based businesses that can give you a bit of an insight into what they do without giving away all of their secrets that they give in their paid services. So just finding the right balance.
Fantastic. It is about finding balance. It's about creating a product suite where you can afford to give some away and have a budget for what you're giving away and strategically give stuff away. If there is a charity that is particularly close to your heart and resonates with your business, then supporting that charity through the services that you offer could be a great way to get your message out to other people who are attracted to that charity as well, and people who are using that. Supporting local sporting teams and supporting local causes is a great way of doing that. And as I said, think about creating a suite of products that are great and that will attract your high value clients, because people aren't ready to do business with us until they know us, they like us, they trust us, they see that we're credible, that we deliver what we say we're going to, and that we offer great value. Without that whole mix, we're not going to be getting consistent sales.
Yeah, absolutely. And also it's the way that you deliver the information as well. So myself and you, Kevin, we could deliver exactly the same information, but we may say it in a slightly different way and connect with different people as well. So the more that you can show people how you work and how you interact and the way that you deliver your services is really key as well. So like I said, we could both say exactly the same thing, but people connect more with you or they might connect more with me.
I know I get heartbroken when people don't connect with me every single time. I try and say I am human too, but a few people disagree, particularly my mates. So I want you to be thinking about, if you are going to give stuff away, have a budget about that. Okay.
That's a really good point, Kevin. Absolutely budget for it. But Think
And
outside the box as well. Like, it doesn't always have to be about a dollar value. Like, if you're giving something away, you know, a lot of people think, oh, I have to give 50% off, or, you know, have regular discount codes in my newsletter. It's not always about that. There's lots of other things that are available. It could be like a little freebie, or a quick session with you, or you know, an affiliate code for something that you're linked with. So it doesn't have to be a dollar value. Just think a little bit outside the box when it comes to that.
so I'm going to challenge people also to budget their time.
Yep.
Because many small business owners fail to budget their time, and they kind of treat their time like it's free, but it's not free. Every hour you're at work, you're away from your family. And so every hour that you're giving away your time is time that you've taken away from your family in that sense. So here's what I'm going to encourage you to think about budgeting, not just from a financial perspective, but from a time perspective as well. So I think that's a really cool thing. So Mike, the answer is we can't give you exact numbers. It's going to be what's right for you and your business. It could depend on where you're at in your business cycle, and it could depend on what your goals are. Some cool tips around that would be to find a cause that your ideal client are also passionate about, and give to that offer some of your time and services to that cause to help that cause, because that can get a multiplier effect that you're reaching a whole lot of your audience through helping that particular cause. So think about it in terms of budgeting your time and budgeting finances, and make sure that you're building that into your entire profit equation that Jitixa can help you with. So we've gone for 11 minutes already.
I know that went fast, doesn't it?
So look, if you do have questions and you want us to address them in future shows, please, in the comments below, put the comments down, ask us questions. We'll be putting, you know, word boxes into Brisbane Small Business and asking the same thing. Anything you want to know. It doesn't have to be about Brisbane Small Business. In fact, it's great if it's not, because we have lots of questions that sometimes we're a bit scared to ask. And if you want to reach out and send either Jitixa, she's really easy to find. There's only one Jitixa that I've ever met, or myself, and you'd like to ask a question privately that we can come up in this show, we will add it in. We won't say who it's from, because we know sometimes people are embarrassed about, oh, I don't know, and I feel like I should. Look, you shouldn't be embarrassed about that. These are the questions that everybody else is thinking, but, you know, they don't want to ask yet. So please, for the first show, I just want to do a quick rundown of small business in Australia. Help us understand that. It's fantastic that small business ownership has gone on a global percentage basis from around 20% women-owned up to 33% now, which is fantastic. And it's going to go forward into the future. Absolutely. You know, there is no reason that it shouldn't be 50-50, but that's up to the population to decide that that's what they want to do. So thank you, Jitixa, for your time today.
You're very welcome. It was great.
And thanks for watching. And we'll look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thanks, guys.